Welcome on into the 5th episode of the Heel Tactics Podcast. I'm Christian, that's Michael, and we got a big video ahead of us. There are 3 WWE PLEs this weekend.
Kind of.
Main event, but there's Evolution, main event, and NXT Great American Bash. All of those we're doing predictions for on this episode. AEW All In is getting a separate video because it's just too much to talk about in one video.
For sure.
But yeah, we're doing the WWE predictions for this weekend in this one.
Absolutely. All right. We just got to get into it. Let's get down to business.
Oh, wait. And the predictions title's on the line.
Oh, yes.
I'm the defending champ.
Let's hope it comes to this shoulder this week.
It might. It
All
very
right.
well might.
It very well might. All right. We'll get down to business. Let's start with Saturday Night Main Event. Let's just knock it out the park first. Gunther Goldberg.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and start with Gunther has been hitting some great promos on Raw lately. And then on the last episode, came out there, try to cut his usual promo, and we get Goldberg pulling up in the parking lot, and we get the Goldberg entrance all the way from there to the ring.
It was a cool little shot.
I don't know what type of car he was driving. I'm not a car guy, but it looked really cool. But he gets in the ring, and Goldberg... both of them have G names. It's so hard.
Call him Bill.
Bill Goldberg. Gunther goes to talk, and then Bill Goldberg just smacks the mic out of his hand.
Yeah.
Goes to start wailing on him. Gunther scurries away.
Yeah.
Goldberg stands tall. All it needed to be. You don't need another really long Goldberg. Hey guys, I'm retiring promo.
Nah.
Let him be like the killer who wants to absolutely rip Gunther apart.
Yeah. Goldberg get down to business type theory. Like, Gunther, and he even said it in the promo, like, I've been verbally assaulting and abusing this man for weeks, and he hasn't come out and done anything about it yet, which just proves to me he's washed. He's scared of me. He's afraid. Afraid of me, afraid of what I'm going to do to him, which is when we cut to the car pulling up in the parking lot and all that.
Which is funny, because, like, how does Gunther know? How
does
Goldberg know exactly when Gunther's having his promo and when to drive up?
Well, you can watch Raw live on Netflix on your phone.
Live on Netflix.
While he was driving, which is illegal. All right. But yeah, so Goldberg stood tall. Gunther scurried out of the way right before he was about to get speared. It made Gunther, I guess, appear weak, but not really.
But it's just to make Goldberg look like, he's got that dog still in him.
He's monster style. Easily giving the match to Gunther.
Me too.
You're not retirement tour or not, retirement match or not, you're not taking the world title off of Gunther for Bill Goldberg. I almost did it myself.
I know.
We've already had that. Like, I remember way back in the day, Universal title, KO was the champ.
Yeah.
And they needed the belt on him, on Bill, for the match at Mania with Brock.
They didn't, because the match should have just been KO versus Jericho for the title.
Agreed.
And they screwed it all up.
But that's in the past. I just remember how much of like a sour taste it was in my mouth that they just like, it was like a 5-second
you
jackhammer
get
spear
that
and it
sour
was
taste every time they gave Goldberg the Universal title, I feel like. Aside from did he beat Brock ever for it? I can't really remember. But like he took it off The Fiend. He took it off
KO. He may have taken it off Brock one time. I can't remember.
Did he take it from Seth once, maybe? I don't remember.
I don't know.
But still, just like...
Anytime I think of Goldberg, like, in recent history, yes, he's beat all those guys.
It's literally to beat them at the pay-per-vieiew before Mania to drop it at Mania.
Drop it at Mania, yeah. So, I don't foresee him winning the belt and then dropping it or vacating it. No, I mean, he said to Michael Cole, this is my last match.
Well, and then Michael Cole was like, well, what happens if you win? And he's like, well, that's quite an interesting situation or something like that.
Yeah, interesting situation. I don't think it's going to be an interesting situation. Gunther said it 2 weeks ago. I can beat him in 3 minutes. I'm going to make it last forever because I'm going to beat him.
Yeah.
You'll definitely have the moments where, Goldberg's going to win, but I don't foresee
Gunther's the king of a 2.9 second kick out. Yeah, I mean, I have Gunther going over. It's probably going to be a better match than people would think. But I also do think it's going to be Goldberg going for a lot of his Goldberg moves.
Yeah.
But in a match longer than 3 minutes, he's going to have to pull out something else. And he's been training for a while, so...
Yeah, I mean, he'll be in great shape. He'll be ready. They know what this match is going to be. Yeah. Obviously, we don't, but they know if it's going to be a 20-minute match, Goldberg's getting himself in shape.
I doubt it hits 20. It's going to at least be 10. maybe
15-ish.
more like 12, 13. But I think it'll be fine enough. It gets Gunther a good little defense.
For sure. So we'll move down to one. They've only announced 3 matches as of recording
at the time
this.
of filming this. We only know 3 of the Saturday night's main event matches, and we only know 3 of the NXT Great American Bash matches. So we can't predict everything because they haven't been announced yet.
But with what we've got Seth versus LA Knight. We've had LA Knight terrorizing Seth for weeks because the whole feud with costing the Money in the Bank and constantly having Braun and Bronson interfere in their matches and whatnot. So LA Knight finally sick of it. He showed up again on Raw last night.
Well, after Seth's faction ran shop
on everyone,
the entire division pretty much. They took out Sammy indefinitely. Bronson Reed anticlimactically didn't do much to Jey Uso, but he did something.
Yep.
And Seth beat Penta in a really great match.
Yeah, great main event.
But, so yeah, Seth's group standing tall, and then you get a quick run-in.
BFT. I'm out.
They said hit and run.
Literally.
It was. It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, it should be a good match. I don't foresee LA Knight winning. It's caught in a rock and a hard place on it. This is one of my tougher decisions just because both guys need the momentum. Seth needs it for his group. Granted, he has Money in the Bank, so he can have momentum the moment he wants it with the snap of a finger. But LA Knight, they too constantly put LA Knight in that box where, yeah, you're over with the fans, everyone loves you, but you just need to take a back seat for a minute while we get this story out. And I'm tired of him taking the back seat because then he'll come out and cut a promo. I'm not, getting to the back of the line. Everybody's saying LA Knight, and I'm the... Okay. I love the promo. I believe the promo till a week later when he gets pushed to the back of the line again. So, yes, he needs the momentum. I'd argue more than Seth, but for the sake of the faction, especially coming off that dominant Raw, I want Seth to keep the momentum up. So I'm going Seth.
I also have Seth. It's a more easy decision for me.
Okay.
I think you just spent an entire episode of Raw literally just solidifying this faction. And while, yes, they both need the momentum, there's clearly a long-term plan for Seth. I don't know if they have much plan for LA Knight after this, and they'll just probably play it by ear, throw it back in the mid-card, whatever they want to do. But, I think just story-wise, you let Seth win here, probably run like Seth Punk at SummerSlam.
Probably.
They could run anything at SummerSlam, but in this case, I have Seth
or
going
a triple
over.
threat. Sammy's still out indefinitely. You give Punk, Jay, and
Well,
Penta
I figured you'd probably do like
Seth's crew.
Maybe. That's not a triple threat.
I mean, that's a 6-man tag. 3v3.
I get what you're saying.
But yeah, we both got Seth going out of that one.
This next one is a lot closer, in my opinion, to not being able to know what to do. Randy versus Drew.
Yeah.
Because it just started. Drew just came back.
Literally.
So Drew came back on SmackDown during a Randy and Cody promo, and Drew started crapping on Randy, and Randy just RKO'd him, and Drew was like, I want a match. They get a match. Saturday night's main event.
It's in the same boat with the LA Knight Seth. They both need momentum. Randy's coming off King of the Ring loss. Drew's just came back. So, yeah, they both need the momentum. I think at the end of the day, Randy could lose, we've said it before, 20 weeks in a row, and next week be the number 1 contender, and no one would bat an eye. So I'm giving Drew the dub on this one.
I think Randy's going to win.
I hope so.
Maybe not where it's like, it feels like Drew's fully beaten down, Drew loses, but like Randy just pulls out the win. Drew's infuriated. Drew maybe beats down Randy after the match because I don't think this is going to be their last match. This is probably the program they're running till SummerSlam.
Probably.
But yeah, I think Drew doesn't go over here, but he does something to keep the feud going.
Okay, I like that. I wouldn't be shocked if, playing off what you just said, because you don't have him on the card for anything this weekend, if Drew's beating down Randy, Cody comes out to make the save.
Why? Why can't Cody be in the Evolution Women's Battle Royal? He might be on the card.
He's going to
somewhere.
be in the all-female card, but yeah, I like the thought process of continuing the story through to SummerSlam because they're both not going to be in the title picture, so you have nothing better to do with them. They've given us great matches in the past when Drew was champ during COVID and Randy and him traded the belt once or twice. I'm here for a Randy Drew rivalry. I always want Randy to win, but I'm giving Drew the dub Saturday night for sure.
Right. You want to just go ahead and hit the Wyatt's profits?
Yeah. On SmackDown, they announced we've got a rerun of the tag title match.
We did this for last predictions. And if it's a title match in the weekend, we're going to include it.
Yep, if it's announced, for sure. And we've got the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six yet again. I will pick the Wyatt Six yet again.
I think it's very likely the Wyatts win. I'm just going to pick the Profits, retain the belts. Mm-hmm. I don't know if, yet again, just like I said last time, I don't know if they win. I don't know what's going to happen. There's been almost no build-up. This could be like, we just want to give the belts to the Wyatts, but at the same time, there's seems like not much of an actual reason to take it off the Street Profits.
Yeah.
So I'm going for a little sneaky Street Profits retain. I'm not super confident in it, but it's my pick.
After what we saw on SmackDown, I wouldn't be shocked if it's like Eric Rowan who cost the match with like a DQ to allow the Profits to retain. If we're getting this match again and the Wyatts don't win, that means we get this match again.
Or we don't. I feel like with how heavily the whole SmackDown tag division's been involved in this, we're bound to get a title match with all of them. Maybe at SummerSlam, but they're kind of scared to put them on pay-per-views for some reason, but
I don't get it.
I could see the Wyatts maybe going over there. Something happens with the whole tag division again. Maybe Eric Rowan gets involved. Maybe the Wyatts just pummel them that bad that it's a DQ. I don't know. But
no telling with that faction.
There's no telling with this whole booking of them. It doesn't make any sense.
Agreed. But yeah, it's just a rerun. We picked the same picks. You said they retain. I say Wyatts get the belts because you got to start letting them win at some point. But yeah, that's SmackDown. That's Saturday Night Main Event. Let's go ahead and hit Great American Bash because it's Saturday afternoon.
In the middle of the day.
And Evolution's kind of the like culmination of the weekend. So for what's announced so far,
let's save the women's tag match for last because we can use that as straight transition into Evolution.
Good pick. All right, so we'll start with Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame.
I think this is simple. I think Sol Ruka retains.
Yeah.
I don't think Sol Ruka is going to drop to anybody except Zarya when the turn inevitably happens. So I think she's safe with the belt. They just wanted her on the card.
Yeah, well, because they put her on the Evolution card.
Like teaming with Zarya.
Yeah, I just feel like because you've got her and Jordan Grace and JC Jane all working double duty this weekend. It makes sense for Jordan Grace and JC Jane to defend, or for the women's title match to be on Evolution for the weekend because it's a celebration of women's wrestling. I think I would have rather had Sol, instead of being in the Fatal 4-Way, defend it. But you can't have too many NXT titles defended.
You can't have too many matches on that card either.
True. I would have dropped one of the matches for it anyways, though. But yeah, they've got her pulling double duty. I think she's going to lose later in the week, so I'll pick Sol Ruka at Great American Bash for sure. But then we've got the NXT Championship match, Oba versus Yoshiki Inamura.
He's from Pro Wrestling Noah. He's been in NXT for a good little bit. He came over with Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs went on like a Noah run, and he came back with Inamura, and they started teaming. But yeah, no, they don't have anybody for Oba to face. They are just throwing people at him. His last defense was Miles Bourne, who I don't even think he's ever even been elevated enough to fight for the North American title. And then out of nowhere, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the shot, but it was just like so random.
You had Trick involved with the TNA title, and you can't feed a Trick Oba all the time.
But they've already done it multiple times.
You've got Ricky Saints out.
Well, Ricky Saints is back.
He came back?
Feuding with Ethan Page for the North American title.
Okay.
You two verified main eventers right there are in the North American division just to keep them away from Oba.
So your main eventers are all tied up. Oba's dominant. I like Oba himself.
But the problem is,
he's
when
too dominant.
He was the North American champ, the NXT roster has changed so much. When he was North American champ, you had all these big guys who didn't have to be main eventers, but some of them were, like Dijak and Josh Briggs, who's still there but not doing anything. And I can't think of any off the top of my head, but you know what I'm talking about. He defended against a ton of smaller guys too, like Axiom and Nathan Frazier and stuff. and now everyone's been moved up. You can't run Oba versus Tony D for the millionth time.
No, but Tony D's a GOAT. I will say, when Oba, what was the tournament called where he was introduced? Where he initially got the breakout tournament. Initially seeing him in the breakout tournament, I was like, oh yeah,
this guy's winning.
This guy's it, yeah. Then gets a North American title shot. This guy's winning it. And once he won the North American title, I was solely convinced he's never going to drop it. Mm-hmm. And then he drops Gunther style, immediately gets vaulted to the main title shot, which made sense because he was.
Well, he kind of disappeared and then showed up for Iron Survivor.
I'm saying in the terms of it didn't take a year or two of him working mid-card scenes, like how LA Knight's having to do on SmackDown. Constantly there every week working, but not in the main title picture yet. So then he gets his hands on the world title, and like you're saying, he fought everybody when he was the North American champ. They threw NXT's best at him, and he dropped them all. So it's hard to just recycle all those matches, especially when a lot of moved up.
A lot of them either moved up or aren't there anymore.
Yeah, so
Duke Hudson was another big boy that he defended against who's not there anymore.
So you're running out of talent to put up against Oba.
They've been ran out of talent.
Agreed. It's time to get the belt off him somehow, or let him come up, or have not even come up, but if anything, because they used to do it a little bit whiles back, send some of the mid-carders of WWE down to fight against him.
Yes. Well,
give him not that this guy's not true talent to fight, but the people know, if you announce on Smack or Raw, I know his shoulders hurt, but Chad Gable is going down to challenge for the NXT title, especially if he would win it. You can let someone from the main roster beat him and move him up.
They let Oba defend against Theory and Waller in a triple threat. And then there's been nothing main roster style since then. You have Pete Dunne, you have Tyler Bate, who you're doing nothing with. You have both of the War Raiders. It'd be kind of random, but you can throw them down there.
You have Ludwig Kaiser.
You have Shinsuke Nakamura. Imagine how hyped people would get if he went to go feud with Oba in NXT, just because he'd be doing something.
And I mean, realistically, all the names you just said, them losing to Oba does not affect their main roster
because they're
status.
Already not at a great standing.
And they're
but
already,
for their showing up in NXT, it's oh my gosh.
You're getting Big Pop on NXT, and you're giving Oba people that
legitimate people to defend
that the fan base can get behind.
Even some of them former NXT champions.
Absolutely,
send down DIY.
Yeah, that would be kind of hype.
Just for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's not gonna be long. But I will say DIY is more involved in the tag team scene than Theory and Waller were.
I'm saying long term, Oba's gonna hold this belt forever.
Unless they find a way Oba. Yeah, same. Unless they find a way to get it off him soon, it's just gonna.
I think they're just inevitably waiting until they can put it on Javon. Mm-hmm. But you have to build Javon up so much to get him to a point where it's not going to be ever believable, but to the point where he can beat Oba.
Yeah.
He's just not there yet. He's going to be.
For sure.
But he's not there yet. Mm-hmm. And they're just waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting. Oba, and it's sad because he's not a placeholder champion. Oba is a dominant champion.
He's a dominant champion with no one to dominate.
Exactly.
I can't remember who said it. It might have been Grayson Waller. Mm-hmm. He was like, good job, Oba. You're on top of the men's division. In the worst men's division in NXT history.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody there. I mean, you have people like Dark State and stuff, who's the people who came out in shield masks. That's it. Who's there?
Aside from
who's there that doesn't care about the North American title or the TNA championship?
Exactly. I mean, you could have some of the heavy hitters of TNA come over and challenge him for it, but
you already did it with Moose.
Yeah.
Who else would you? Emmanuel Eddie Edwards.
Oh, Eddie Edwards for sure. That's my boy. Nah,
they brought back Elias, and I think it was to feud with Trick.
Yeah. There was one.
Why would a TNA guy come there and not try to take the TNA title back, instead feud with Oba? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they should want their title back.
I mean, Inamura is not from NXT, WWE NXT either, but it's not like Oba's the Pro Wrestling Noah champion.
Yeah. It's cool that Noah talent getting his name
always
out
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
You got Noah, you got AAA, you got NXT, TNA, my bad.
Yeah.
You got WWE all working together. That's cool.
Yeah, agreed.
But feels like they're kind of grasping for straws to give people to Oba.
To feed
and
to the
it's
machine.
just like, okay, here's your Oba defense. You know Oba's gonna win.
Yep.
So there's nothing coming from it. It's not going to generate much excitement.
Yep.
Match will be good. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Oba's going to catch the dub, and that's all there is to say about it, although we said a lot about it. But more so on the state of NXT's main division than the Oba match itself. But
it just sucks because like a year or 2 years ago, it was like, and it was no NXT Black and Gold.
It was no Black and Gold.
So good when they got done with 2.0.
Yeah.
It's just upsetting to see how it's fallen a little bit.
I won't disagree with you there. So we've got the only other one announced as of now that we know of is Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus JC Jane and Fallon Henley.
Of Fatal Influence.
Fatal Influence, which that is going to be who I pick. Fatal Influence gets the dub.
Very interesting pick.
Yes. I know it's Blake Monroe's first big match.
FKA Mariah May.
Yeah.
If you don't know the Blake Monroe name.
I get it's her first like push in the NXT world. I understand she's teaming with Jordan Grace, who's an absolute monster.
And Jordan Grace, who's fighting for the NXT Women's title at Evolution
the next night
against JC Jane.
I see it being JC Jane and Fallon Henley win on Saturday so that you have an even better feel-good moment on Sunday if Jordan Grace were to win the belt. The only reason I would say, because I think Jordan's going to win on Sunday, but we'll get to that later. The only reason I would say that it's the good guys winning both days in a row is because it's Blake's first match. Mm-hmm. But I think in terms of storytelling,
as long as you don't let her take the pin, I mean,
yeah, especially if you let JC pin Jordan just to build it up even more. Like, oh, I just beat you last night. Let's run this back. I'm gonna do it again. That's just how my mind sees it.
Well, we're also big Fallon Henley fans.
Love Fallon Henley. Love Fallon Henley.
Join us on the pod. Second ever invite Fallon Henley. Come be a guest.
Wade Barrett, Fallon Henley, elite company. Elite company. But yeah, I will pick Fallon Henley and JC Jane in that one.
I'm opposite. I got Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe winning. I have Blake Monroe pinning JC Jane.
Okay.
Or at least picking up the pin because straight segue. I have JC Jane shockingly going over at Evolution.
Oh, wow.
Am I 100% confident? No. But they love to make Jordan Grace just sell the big matches. And I think they'd rather keep it on JC to let Blake Monroe beat her as opposed to put it on Jordan Grace and then instantly have her win like they did with Julia, which was really kind of weird.
Play hot potato with the belt.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's not a bad
People already
process.
Think JC Jane's a transitional champion. She kind of seems like it. But letting her beat Jordan Grace, maybe not in a legit... I mean, it's numbers game too. It's 3v1.
Yeah.
But like letting her beat Jordan Grace helps her out. And then you can have her lose to Blake. Jordan Grace doesn't need the title.
She
could be on the main roster right now.
But. Absolutely. I think... if anything, in like the fans' eyes, it'd be so cool for her to win that belt.
Yeah.
But she doesn't need it long. But again, that's like you're saying, playing hot potato with the belt. When you start passing the belt back and forth 1,000 times, title reigns get to be pointless rather than meaningful.
Yeah.
And
you already threw it off Julia to give it to Stephanie.
To move Julia
gave it to JC Jane because you wanted Stephanie at Money in the Bank.
Yep.
And then to instantly give it to Jordan Grace to a month later give it to Blake Monroe, that's just not very good.
I definitely hear what you're saying. I'm still going to pick Jordan to win it because I think Jordan Grace needs to win a belt in WWE and fast because she's that dominant of a woman. Yeah. But I definitely hear you. I could definitely see it going the other way and letting Blake eventually get the win for the belt rather than Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not a bad pick at all, my friend. So we got kind of jumped into the middle
of Evolution.
It
could be the main event.
It absolutely could, but I doubt it. This ain't the black and gold era. This isn't their time.
Well, where did they let Shayna and Kyrie go on the Evolution card?
I don't even remember. It was a while ago.
Shayna Baszler's been spam posting about that match and about Evolution.
I believe it. I wish Shayna Baszler was back.
Yeah, so scary. What a goat.
What a goat. All right, so we got. We'll keep the title the two main roster title matches for later. So we'll go to just a straight up grudge match: Jade Naomi.
Not much to say. Jade.
No. Yeah, I've got Jade winning for sure.
She won Queen of the Ring. Naomi's Miss Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank people. Unless you're like a certified like Seth Rollins type right now, you're gonna lose all your matches while you have the briefcase.
I've got Jade winning, believing she's done with Naomi. Naomi's in the past. Come SummerSlam, we get the title match against Tiffy because I got Tiffy winning later. And we get the Naomi cash in either during the match or right after Jade wins it.
I would say it's right after Jade wins it, but there's no guarantee.
I always think it's a cooler story point that you actually robbed them of their chance of winning versus you took my belt from me. Like I think
they're so basic with how they tell Jade Cargill stories that it's going to be you took my belt from me.
Yeah, I like that like.
I get it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've only done like two triple threat cash-ins, I think, but
like Drew, it made more sense with the Drew cash-in. Like he got to hold the belt for 5 minutes because he was celebrating and all that, and then Punk was out there egging him on back when Damian cashed in. But I feel like for Jade, this is her first time getting a shot, main shot at the title, and all this culminating at SummerSlam, one of the biggest events of the year, and then Naomi's been the thorn in her side since it was discovered she attacked her and all that. Makes more sense to cash in during instead of after for me.
That's valid. That's valid.
But yeah, not much to say about the match itself. It probably won't be a masterclass by any means. Jade has been progressing each week in terms of how good she looks in a match.
In a match, not
promo.
That wasn't her fault. That was just super weird writing.
Very weird writing, very weird timing, especially following up right after. Well, we can do that when we get to the Tiffy match real quick. Let me finish what I was going to say. Because Naomi, I don't want like us just saying there's not much to say about it. Naomi's phenomenal.
Well, the thing is, like, they've had this feud forever.
Yeah, we've seen the match. It's not new. It's not inventive. It's not even like a stipulation.
I think they wanted them on the card, but didn't want them in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, which Naomi being Miss Money in the Bank didn't need to be in a Battle Royal or anything like that. So,
and Jade, both of them have guaranteed title matches at some point.
At some point, yeah. So it made sense to put it on the card, but it's recycled material. Yeah. So that's why there's not much to say about it. Not in terms of Naomi's boring or Jade's boring. It's just we've seen it before. But yeah, so we'll cycle into we'll get to, since you wanted to bring up that promo, we'll go into the Tiffy Trish Stratus match. We've got
Tiffany came out on SmackDown. She was like, EO got to pick her opponent. I'm picking mine. And then Jade comes out there, and she's just like, hey, I'm Jade. I'm going to take it from you.
Whether it's you or whoever.
And then Trish Stratus comes out, and Trish Stratus is just existing there. Points the finger. Ton. And then after coming out during this segment where Tiffany's like, I get to pick my opponent, she's like, I pick you, Trish. And Trish is like, What? That's so crazy.
She says, I totally didn't expect that.
When you are told to come out here during the promo where she gets to pick her opponent.
Yeah, who else is she going to pick?
Why else would you be there?
Exactly.
And so she picks Trish Stratus, which is cool. They teamed together at Elimination Chamber. Trish Stratus is a goat. Mount Rushmore
material, absolutely.
Oof, time to get flamed. But,
the promo itself was just very non-fluid, I guess is the way I want to say it. It was like Trish has her moment talking about evolution and the women's revolution and all that, which is cool. I like that part. And then Tiffy's just like, yeah, I want you to be my opponent, but I'm still going to beat you. This isn't, a walk in the park or anything. I'm a tough opponent. And then Jade's like, I don't care who it is. You or you, I'm getting the belt at SummerSlam. And then I think Tiffy at one point was like, if you don't want the match, it's okay. And Trish is like, no, I want this fight. But that was like, her saying, I want this fight was like the only true I accept that Trish gave Tiffy. The whole promo just felt kind of weird.
Well, then they go backstage after commercials.
Right after commercial.
Jade walks up to Trish from a completely different area of the arena, completely different directions, which means they already didn't come back from the ring at the same time, I guess. And she's like, oh, so I see you have a title match. You were there. You were in the ring when they announced the title match.
I don't know if it was like, here's your script, Jade, say this, or if it was like, Jay, we need you to hit this point. And she was like, what's a good intro to it? And then like just on the spot, she was like, well, I see you got a title match. Because I mean, that would be a decent way of starting hey, that Trish, conversation. I see you got a title match.
You were just in the ring. You could have said that to her.
Yeah, timing wise, or like
does Jade Cargill's new character have short-term memory loss now that she won Queen of the Ring?
It was
so weird.
The timing was bad.
Hey, Michael, you're wearing a purple shirt. Oh, I see you have a purple shirt.
Yeah. I am a big purple guy.
The fans love it. Big purple guy.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole promo was just very weird, not flowing well, and then you get the immediate out of commercial crazy short-term memory loss Jade confronting Trish backstage. And then
it's just hard to get excited about this stuff when it's written like that. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Am I excited to see a Mount Rushmore woman in the ring at Evolution? Absolutely. There's 2 in the ring at Evolution, actually. 3? Who was the third?
I had Rhea Ripley on mine.
Oh, yeah.
You had Asuka.
Oh, yeah. Asuka's on the card.
Hey, you got flamed.
Hey, Asuka's
we get flamed. We will never post another Mount Rushmore, I guess.
Nobody's ready for Asuka.
Our opinions are invalid.
All right, yeah. I'm sorry that my opinions...
Becky Lynch is so overrated. Becky Lynch is the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
We'll get to her in a second because we still got to pick this match.
But yeah, no, I have Tiffany.
Yeah.
You're not letting Trish
win the belt.
Jade might let Trish win because she sees she has a title match.
She has a title match. Yeah, this one's the same boat as Gunther. Like,
it's just a layup.
I understand the excitement of bringing a legend back. I understand the hype of bringing a legend back. But when it's a legend who feasibly post having a title run, there's no sense in giving them a title match.
The only time she could have gotten the belt was during like the Thank You Trish stuff a couple years ago.
Yes.
And that was while Rhea was champ, so she was never even going to sniff it. But she only ended up feuding with Becky the Goat anyways. So
yeah, Goldberg comes back, and the moment that all the internet was all Goldberg's going to be on Raw, Goldberg's going to be on Raw, you immediately knew it was going to be against Gunther because of the whole spot months ago where he talked about him. Mm-hmm. I get it. I get the feud part of it. But Goldberg's not winning the world title. This is no different. Tiffany
I wish they would have given them a match with no belt on the line at some point.
Yeah. Because if you don't make it a title match, I can believe either one can win. Yeah. If it's for the belt,
that's what was good about Trish versus Becky. The feud was really way too ran on, but like Trish won stuff because nothing was on the line.
The only way I could see this being a Trish Stratus dub, which I don't, is because at SummerSlam you're going to have the cash in. So no matter what.
But that's just such like
that's cop out giving her another title. Yeah. Like, I don't agree with it. I'm just saying.
But that's just like not likely. That's like looking.
I'm looking for a way
you doing saying that, but like that's just like the most random. Oh, this could be why, but like no, it's not gonna be.
Oh, I see you have a title match.
Oh, I see.
The writing of this has already been a little rough. I wouldn't be shocked if it's something totally random like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm picking Tiffy.
Okay. Me too.
There's no way it shouldn't be Tiffy. So then we
speaking of getting a title match.
Okay,
want to do the women's battle royal?
We can. Not a ton known about the participants.
We know 2 participants
for sure, like locked into at this point in time.
And
Ivy Nile.
Almost your pick.
Almost my pick. Absolutely. Can I see Nikki winning it? Sure.
I have Nikki winning it. Is it a basic cop-out answer?
Sure.
Yes. But she's fearless, and I'm part of the Bella Army.
She is fearless, and she's entering the Battle Royal at Evolution. I'll say this. If Stephanie Vaquer's in it, give me Stephanie Vaquer. If she's not, give me Ivy Nile. Because I don't know who else will be in it. You don't get 2 picks.
You don't get 2 picks.
If Stephanie's in it, I'm not picking Ivy. But if Stephanie's not in it, then my pick's a throwaway.
You can have 2 picks because
Ivy's not winning. Yeah, Ivy's not winning.
If Ivy Nile wins, I will give you the predictions title.
She's not winning because
if she wins the Battle Royal, you win it. Even if I beat you on
my pick,
but still, even if I beat you on every other match, if Ivy Nile wins, you get the predictions belt.
Let's go, Ivy, the pit bull of Monday Night Raw. I'm pulling for you, girl. It's gonna be the greatest evolution ever. That would be so exciting. You have no idea. If Ivy Nile wins that Battle Royal, I'm driving here immediately and picking the belt up. It's going to sit right there. I'm taking it home. And it will be with me for the next week until we freaking record. Oh gosh. Yeah, no. My actual pick is Stephanie McCurr. It's just if she's not in the match, it's a throwaway pick. So I got to put somebody I know's in the match, and I'm not picking Nikki Bella. So Ivy's the backup.
Well, Ivy's your saving grace.
Ivy is my saving grace because I don't think I'm going to win this.
I don't think I'm going to win it either. Anyways. This whole week is the most unpredictable pile of put together. I'm not going to say garbage, but just put together matches of all time.
Like, if you look at the matches across the board, there's a lot of good matches there.
Okay, but tell me how many of them have build-up of more than 2 weeks?
None.
Aside from the Becky match.
Seth LA Knight. Seth LA Knight's been since Money in the Bank, if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
Gunther Goldberg's been for like 4 months, if you look at it that way.
Tell me about Evolution. Yeah. What has any build-up besides Becky Bailey and Lyra?
Naomi have history, but it's recycled. But it's recycled.
They didn't restart this feud until last week.
Yeah, it's recycled. Becky and Bailey have the most substance.
Because Naomi randomly attacked Jade after she said, "Oh, I see you have a title match." Trish didn't come help her.
No, Trish walked away because she knew she has a title match at SummerSlam against Jade, and she has to make sure Jade's down.
This is the same type of crap as Liv Morgan with the I am a champion.
I am a champion. Naomi said you should have proceeded with caution. I love Naomi.
Did you finally get a good look at the new briefcase, though?
No, I did not. I got to look at it. I need to look at it because I was very distracted by the beat or the actual attack itself.
By the memory loss?
I had Jade's memory loss at that point. I need to look at her briefcase because I probably will like it because it's Naomi. But
I don't know if it's a little messy looking. It's not as good as Seth's. Conceptually, it's there, but I kind of wish it would have just been her actual briefcase wrapped in caution tape.
That would have been cool.
But you're not going to sell that.
No. I mean, we could make it.
Might.
We could make it. So moving on from the Battle Royal that Ivy Nile is going to pull out the dub on, we can go to... I'm saving that match for last, honestly. Let's go to Io Rhea.
Women's World Title. Io Sky, the champ.
The champ has done nothing. Yeah.
No defenses since WrestleMania because every time it seems like they're going to do something with her, she just doesn't appear for the next week.
Yep.
I don't get it. She is so over.
The fans love her.
They just don't know how to book her. I don't get it. You let her beat your two biggest women in the company of Mania. The newest generation.
Yeah.
And then you do nothing. You give her the match with Stephanie. That might have been like her only match since Mania. The Raw after WrestleMania.
Yep.
So for that reason, I think they're just going to autocorrect to Rhea Ripley. Give her the belt because they don't know what to do with Io.
See, I'm in the exact opposite field. I feel like because, yes, it's been a lackluster, no appearance title reign, but you haven't done anything with her yet. Granted, the momentum's gone of her coming off Mania, beating Rhea and Bianca, but Io is one of the most, if not the most, over woman in that company.
The problem is Io's booked just like they book Asuka. On and off, on and off, on and off. Whereas Rhea is booked like...
always hot.
Yeah.
Even if she loses, she's still top guy.
I don't want Rhea to win. I love Rhea Ripley. I don't want Rhea Ripley to win because she doesn't need it at all.
Not a bit.
But they're scared, I guess. Because Liv Morgan got hurt.
Because Liv Morgan got hurt, and all of a sudden the whole women's division has to be flipped on its head.
Yep.
Give me Io solely because, yes, she's done nothing to merit keeping it, but she's done nothing to merit losing it.
Also, Rhea's done nothing with her. They've really drilled this in. Rhea's never beat her. Rhea's never beat Io.
Yep.
You can't have that forever. I think they're just going to rip the Band-Aid and let Rhea beat Io.
I hope not.
I don't want it to happen, but it's my pick.
Give me Io. My GOAT. I love Io. All right, we got 2 matches left on the card. Let's go to the...
We do?
Yeah, we got the tag fatal 4-way.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that we didn't actually talk about the triple threat.
Yeah, let's go to the tag fatal 4-way.
We got Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, women's tag champs, Judgment Day, versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
From SmackDown.
Who won a triple threat to get into the match. Versus...
Against Michin and
B-Fab, who you thought would be here.
Yeah, it really did.
But they might be in the Battle Royal. You want to change your pick?
No. Not one bit, actually. Chelsea Green could be in it, though. That's not a bad pick.
Yes, it is.
Chelsea Green's a great pick. I think I'll give Ivy more of a chance, actually.
Versus the newly reunited Kabuki Warriors.
They hammered that last night.
Yeah, you called it. I didn't think they would do it, but Kairi Sane beat Roxanne Perez. Love to see it. Keep the Kairi push going.
Thank you.
But not in the tag division. They brought out Asuka to help her, and they're like, "Oh, Kabuki Warriors!" Oh, and then they start dancing with Adam Pearce,
which was sick.
Yes, but
I love their energy, and I love that they are probably like best friends. So it makes sense to put them together. But they both should be.
I want to see them. Asuka, we've seen her in the singles division.
For sure.
I want to see Kairi Sane do something before just throwing her back in the tag division.
Yeah,
you got the women's mid card belt.
In the mid card.
I don't think she's going to win it soon, but at some point, it's that's your step off point for Kairi Sane.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
And she's over. The fans like her.
You've got Asuka, who realistically should never not be in the main event picture, but neither should Becky or Bayley, and they're both killing it mid-card title area right now. So,
but that mid-card title is the most prestigious women's belt in the company right now. So,
I don't disagree.
Is it really mid-card? That's like.
Well, you got the greatest woman of all time holding it. So
someone for going after Gunther's Intercontinental title.
Yeah, at that point in time,
plenty of main eventers. I feel like we're doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not like the main eventers, like
main event Jey Uso,
Roman and Cody, but Jey Uso.
Main event Jey Uso.
I think AJ Styles probably went after it.
AJ, Chad. Well, Chad's a mid carder, but Chad should be a main eventer. Then you had Sammy, who was at that point one of your most over guys in the company. It was eventually the one that beat him, but yeah, I see what you're saying. That is the most like important title in the women's realm right now. But it's
until
still
Julia goes on her 1,000-day reign with the U.S. title, she's not even on the card.
It'd be cool if she's in the Battle Royal, but
she's not going to win it.
Even that, like, she's your U.S. champ. I get you didn't have a feud, but like you just said, what's a match on here that's not a 2-week build anyways? But you've got so many, like, drop the Jade Naomi match and give us the U.S. Give us every woman belt you have in that company there.
Yeah.
Like, that's... You want to celebrate women's wrestling? Give us all their belts. Give us all the champions defending. Yeah, that'd be so much cooler. But
I love Julia. I wish she would have gotten a defense at it. But
yeah.
Also, we got so carried away. Zarya and Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
We mentioned it earlier with the NXT stuff, but they're also the fourth team in the Fatal 4-Way. I would love for them to win just because Sol Ruka would have 3 titles at the same time. That'd be sick, but they're not winning.
Out of all the teams, they're the ones I pick, or my least expected pick. On the fence.
Very on the fence. Any of the other 3 teams could win it. For Charlotte and Alexa, just because they're Charlotte and Alexa.
Yep.
Kabuki Warriors, just because they're Kabuki Warriors.
Yep.
And Roxanne and Raquel, mainly to keep all the belts in the Judgment Day.
You've got Kabuki Warriors newly reunited. And I think, even though I said to you before Raw, don't be shocked if Asuka and Corey are the Raw tag team to come out of this and be in that match. I don't think you give them the belts because in terms of story, you have a way better storytelling with Charlotte and Alexa being tag champs or Judgment Day retaining tag champs than you do the Kabuki Warriors winning the tag titles. Even though they're hot, they're fresh. Asuka just came out of Queen of the Ring. Kari's getting fan backing. She's winning matches on Raw. It makes sense in terms of momentum for sure, but I think out of the 3... I think it goes like my least expected is NXT, then Raw, and then it's between Alexa and Charlotte, and then Roxanne and Raquel.
I'm giving it to Roxanne and Raquel just to keep all the belts in the Judgment Day. You saw Finn shine in all the titles.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's got grounds for. I mean, there's a story between Charlotte and Alexa, but. This one has grounds for a longer term story.
Yes.
You could see Charlotte and Alexa maybe fight for them at SummerSlam or something to get them on the card. I don't know, but it's harsh, but it's a hard pick, but I'm giving it to Raquel or Roxanne.
It's a hard pick. I agree with the longer term, having Roxanne help Raquel keep the belt, thus pulling Roxanne.
Even if it's just at this pay-per-view.
Yeah, even closer into the fold. I'll say this. If you're going to give Raquel and Roxanne the dub, they have to be tag champs when Liv comes back. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yes.
Unless you're going to take it off them, and then maybe they win it back before Liv comes back, and like,
or if they like lose them right before Liv comes back or something.
I think,
or they lose them because Liv comes back or something like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. I just think that you've got the grounds of the Liv story that when Liv comes back, well, you're just holding my place.
Yeah.
I'm the tag champ. We won these belts together. But if you do let them drop and then win them back, like right when Liv comes back, it's like, well, actually, we're the tag team now.
Yeah.
Which then gives Liv...
But if you keep it like this, it's much more of like a Raquel doesn't know who to choose. She's been champs with Roxanne for this long, but she won them with Liv.
Absolutely. That's why I will pick Raquel and Roxanne, but I think it'd be a very cool story in terms of I'm not your friend, Alexa, or Lexi, as she always calls her. Charlotte, I get it. We're not friends, but we can help each other. That I do like a tag team that's not buddy-buddy. Because then when you get the eventual breakup, it's not the same story recycled 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's two people that actually didn't care about each other.
To be friends. The issue would be if they give them the belts and they're like, oh, now we're best friends.
Now we're besties.
That's what I don't want to see.
Agreed.
I don't mind if Charlotte and Alexa win these, but I don't want them to win them and become best friends just to break up with each other.
You would do, which again, it's kind of hot potato-ish, but you let them win on Evolution, and then come SummerSlam, they defend against Raquel and Roxanne one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Raquel and Roxanne beat them.
2-on-2.
Or, yeah, team on team. And then that gives that final crack in the, we're not friends, I'm sick of you, you're the reason we lost this match. And then Survivor Series or whatever, you can have a big Charlotte Alexa match. Mm-hmm. Probably wouldn't.
I mean, it's very hard to predict.
I think that's the toughest one to predict on the card.
Because there's almost no build, this show is so unpredictable.
Yes, but I think even though that one I feel has the most like substance and story,
but it's not with the other teams. Story because of the match. It's substance and story because of Judgment Day's completely separate situation, and Charlotte and Alexa's completely separate situation.
Agreed. That's just my hardest pick on the show overall, but I will give it to Raquel and Roxanne as well. Yeah. And then we've got what I think
the George Washington of the women's Mount Rushmore, Becky Lynch, the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
I won't disagree.
She's not overrated. She is underrated. She is overhated.
Agreed.
The amount of comments I've had to read about how I am stupid and don't know a single thing about wrestling, and about how I'm apparently a 5-year-old who just started watching last week because I had Becky Lynch on the women's Mount Rushmore is insane, absurd, and I hate it. She's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. She's defending the greatest women's title currently in WWE against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria in the only story that has build on this show. Give me Becky Lynch, the greatest.
In case y'all didn't know, I did start watching wrestling last week, and I could already tell you Becky's the best one out there.
That's a lie. They'll believe you. They'll believe you. They'll clip
I'm sure they will. No, Becky, you have a better story at this point with Bayley and Lyra at each other's throats than even involving Becky. But Becky being the greatest woman of all time just elevates it even more in the terms of she cuts the promo last night. Those two are in cahoots. Mm-hmm. They're doing this because they know that's the only way they'll get this belt off my shoulder. After she goes on a long rant about how she is the greatest woman of all time, you can just ask ESPN and all these different magazines.
Heel Tactics Wrestling.
Ask Heel Tactics Wrestling will tell you she's the greatest of all time. Becky just elevates whatever she's touching. And not that Lyra didn't do a good job. Again,
Lyra was a good first champion.
She was a good first champ. I'm not sold on the acting 100% yet side of things.
It's better seeing her mad at Bayley than seeing her happy-go-lucky champ.
Yes. But Becky's heel work has elevated this feud immensely.
Yeah.
But Lyra and Bayley being at each other's throats is a fine story by itself.
Yeah.
I am getting tired of the constant, like last night, Bayley came out, Lyra interrupts her, runs past her, says the first words to Becky, and then Bayley says, "Really, dude?" And Lyra's like, oh, you finally talked to me. Like, I get the cattiness to it and the stabbing in the friend in the back and all that.
I like the line, but we've kind of gotten that 2 weeks in a row already.
Yeah, that part feels
what they get to
recycled.
after it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, give me Becky for sure. Also, shout out to Becky's segment with the New Day on Raw, where the New Day
are in full like funeral outfits in mourning for losing their tag titles after the Viking Raiders.
But it wasn't just for the tag titles; it's because the division is
it's been dead
now that the New Day is not the tag champs.
The War Raiders are like, okay, we want to guarantee that we get their next shot. What have they done to earn it? Absolute crap. They've done nothing. They've not been on TV. And then the New Day, like, we want our rematch, and the War Raiders are like, well, actually, when y'all were the champs, y'all said no rematches. Shut up.
Give the New Day what they want.
Give the New Day their rematch.
They're obviously broken and so upset. You can just look at their
They need the rematch for backstage morale.
Absolutely.
And Becky agrees with him. She walks up and she's like, I'm sorry for your loss.
Absolute goat. Walks up. Nice pat on Kofi's shoulder. Sorry for your loss. Both are like, thanks, Becky.
And then she's like, oh yeah, Adam Pearce makes horrible decisions. And then she looks at him and she's like, you know what was a good decision though? Dropping Big E. I hate that guy.
And then Xavier says, get it, girl, or something like that. And then you just hear, like, as they're cutting away from that shot, Kofi says, that's why she's the man, to Pierce. But yes, that segment I probably rewatched like 5 times.
3 goats all in one room. 4 goats. Adam Pearce is the best GM.
It was a phenomenal segment.
The best current GM.
Yeah.
Don't flame him. The
please.
best current GM. I like him more than Aldis.
Yeah. Agreed. Pierce is hype.
I want Aldis to be a wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I knew that Nick Aldis was a wrestler. It's almost like I've been watching TNA since I was a little kid.
Really? Nick Aldis is a wrestler?
Really?
That's amazing.
I don't even know
why is he
name.
always in a suit? Oh, well, Cody's always in a suit. So wrestlers can wear suits, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. Becky, I'm not going to say for sure. She's my pick.
Here's my thing. I think there's more grounds to run with Bayley Lyra, and I think there were... Hold on. I got, like, spit in my throat. There's more grounds for their feud if neither of them win the belt.
Yes.
And it's easier to get the belt in a new situation if Becky retains. Because Becky can win here and be like, okay, legitimately, y'all don't get a shot. And
I beat you one-on-one,
understandable.
beat you one-on-one, beat you both at the same time.
So it's easy to put Becky in something else, another feud for it. Yeah. Meanwhile, you can still run Bayley Lyra as a good Monday Night Raw feud. There's plenty of story, plenty of beef. You're not going to do anything else with them.
Nope. Because if you give one the belt...
If you give one the belt, it's just going to be the other one in title matches again, and that's a much more boring story.
Yeah. Their story doesn't need the belt.
It's going to help Lyra to see how she can shine in a non-title story against Bayley.
Yeah, I agree with that thought process. And also with if Becky can put them aside, we get the most prestigious women's title in the company involved with more than just 3 people.
It helps. It's going to help it a lot more for Becky. Like, if Becky loses to Bayley, that's not that substantial because Bayley's a main eventer. Where if Becky loses to Stephanie Vaquer or someone, it's okay. Stephanie Vaquer just beat Becky for the Intercontinental title.
Just elevated.
Here we
Stephanie.
go.
Absolutely.
It's not like Stephanie's not a good wrestler and we all know it, but it's much more useful to let the stage of Becky losing be to someone else who needs the opportunity.
Like if Stephanie were to win the Battle Royal and then the runner-up Ivy Nile were to beat Becky, it could happen.
I'm not gonna say that's like
impossible.
No. That's impossible. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be hype.
Yeah,
I love American Made, but that's not happening.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, give me the Becky retention.
I like Becky's going on the Rushmore with her belt because she's never losing it.
The night after she won it, she talked about it like it was her greatest accomplishment, and I'm here for it. She's done so much.
Her greatest accomplishment.
You know, we've only been watching wrestling for like a couple weeks now.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know.
I guess the people commenting didn't watch that promo where she actually laid out every single thing she's done in the women's division.
Oh, Charlotte's been 13-time champion. Yeah, and she lost them all in less than 2 weeks.
Literally.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah, no.
Becky. It's funny because the people who were dissing us for having Cena on our Rushmores as corporate pushed were the people who were like, why isn't Charlotte there?
Literally corporate pushed from day one. But that's all right. I'm not saying Charlotte's not a great wrestler or anything.
And then ultimately, we only wanted one horsewoman, but also
Yes.
Becky is better than Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm with that. And Becky's better than Bayley and Lyra, taking her in the match, retaining the IC title. That covers
Evolution. Every
WWE match
that we know of currently.
Yeah.
Main event's probably going to get another match. Great American Bash is probably get another 2 or 3 tonight. Literally, probably as we're speaking, but I'm not going to check for it.
You've got to have something happen on SmackDown to get another main event match.
Probably Drew McIntyre versus Aleister Black. Not Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I can't think of anything else.
Or if something really weird happens in the tag title match, something could happen on the show, but that's forced and weird.
Yeah, too pushed too quick. I will say, though, I would like a tag match. You could give it to the best tag team in WWE right now.
But who would they face?
Andrade and Rey Fénix could literally
just
face
a random number one contenders match on main event.
And I'd be all right with it.
Andrade and Rey Fénix.
Yeah, okay.
I never thought you would be as big of a Rey Fénix fan as you are, but you are the biggest Andrade fan nowadays.
Yeah, Andrade is slowly, and it's really not even slowly anymore. He is quickly catapulting into my current favorite wrestlers.
Not all time.
Not all time. Lord have mercy.
The fluctuating list.
The list that is fluid of who I watch on a weekly basis. Andrade's like 2 or 3 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrade.
I won't argue with
and
you.
Rey Fénix is phenomenal as well. Just I prefer the Andrade side of their tag.
You know who I prefer? Their opponent's Fraxium.
Oh, I do
like
Andrade
and Rey Fénix is the same story Fraxium had when they were put together.
Yes.
It sucks to see Fraxium on the losing side of it. But the match was a banger.
I do like Fraxium. I'm not going to put Fraxium above Andrade right now, but the match, yet again, best match on SmackDown, best match of the week in my opinion. And Andrade was the highlight. Ray was a highlight. Nathan Frazier was a highlight. Axiom was a highlight. Everyone had their highlight moment.
You take 4 of the best in-ring workers on SmackDown and put them in a match. It's what you said last week with either last week or the week before with Humberto and Angel, or no, DIY.
DIY, yeah.
But like on another level. Because this is 4 speedy eyes matching each other's pace.
Yeah, no, there was no slow moment. There was always something, your eye was caught. Mm-hmm. The hits were explosive. The flips were explosive.
The spots were explosive.
Yeah, the spots were amazing. And it just took the cake across the whole night. And Big Jim was in the main event. And I still enjoyed the Andrade match.
Speaking of the main event, I don't like something they did in there. And that was it was Solo and JC Mateo versus Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso. And Jacob just pinned Solo.
Straight up.
After he just won the U.S. title, he just pinned him. They could do Jacob versus Solo on main event.
They could. But I would have preferred, if anything,
Jimmy pinned Solo at least to get a different match.
Yes, Jimmy pinning Solo, but I was going to say not have this match tonight, or it was last Friday.
Have it be the Tongans versus Jacob.
You can have the Tongans, or just save that feud for a Saturday Night Main Event. Tell Jacob, you can't
save that whole match.
You started the whole show by Jacob literally pulling Solo out the car window. Aldis could have said, go home.
You can have it at main event.
You can have it at main event. I can't have this in my building. Mm-hmm. There you go. And then you have a solid match at main event because all 4 of those guys are good wrestlers. You can have Big Jim fight some of the Tongans or something leading up to it to keep some hype for it.
I mean, I would have just put the Tongans versus them here, let the Tongans lose or get DQ'd or something, and then let the Solo team-up match
happen at main event.
And then either have the triple threat of Jimmy, Solo, Jacob, or just the Solo Jacob at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But
they rushed it. They rushed it because
they rushed Solo getting legit pinned.
Agreed.
I wouldn't even mind him getting pinned if it was something crappy, but it was just legit. Jacob hits his finisher.
Solo should not have been the man getting pinned.
Or let JC get pinned.
JC should have gotten pinned. If you truly wanted Jacob and Jimmy going over, Solo did not need to be the guy getting pinned.
Yeah. Especially to have Solo not even a couple minutes later after the Tongans come out, stand tall and hold up his belt.
Yep.
You just got legit pinned in the main event of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Which is your show. And you weren't even the one who really did the beatdown afterwards.
Yep. I mean, again, there's shades of Baby Roman in there where he's not the main guy beating him down and he's calling all the shots and all that, but I can assure you this much.
But
Roman Reigns would not
I don't
have
mind
pinned.
if he's the one calling shots. I mind that he's the one who got pinned.
Yeah, Roman would have gotten
minutes
pinned.
later held his hand.
Roman would have never been. Yeah.
I don't want Solo to be unbeatable for 1,000 days. No. I don't want Solo to be Roman Reigns, but I want Solo to be legit, and they are not booking him legit.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with you. And I told you last week or 2 weeks ago, if it's Jacob Solo, I want Jacob to win. But there comes a point in time where you have to book characters to be credible. Like I said with the Wyatt Six for the past 3 weeks at this point. I'm picking the Wyatts to win their match. Don't want them to win. I think they have no business winning the tag belts. I think, if anything, Prophet should beat them straight up at some point and then move away from this storyline of the whole tag team division being scared of them, because every time they're in a ring with them, it's a regular match. But they got to win to get credibility. Solo has to win to get credibility. Solo has won plenty of matches in WWE. Solo has been shown as a dominant guy.
He's pinned Cody Rhodes.
Yep. They're absolute plot armor babyface. But you let him beat Jacob. Not really straight up because you had all the interference. But you let him beat Jacob, who, aside from Cody, I'd say is definitely up there as one of your fan favorites on SmackDown in terms of the men division, and then immediately turn around and lose to him. Oh, yeah, Randy. Well, Randy's not going to ever do anything. LA Knight, they're not going to do anything with him either, apparently. But Damian Priest is probably... No, Damian Priest probably isn't as loved as
Damian Priest has been barely booked lately.
Yeah, and Drew being back, Drew will be up there for sure. I don't know. I'm with you. Solo had no business, not even a week removed from winning that belt, being the guy that gets pinned.
Yeah.
In the main event.
I don't know. SmackDown was a bit of a weird show, but I'll give a shout out
for the
to
banger.
Raw.
Okay.
Aside from the first match, which was Kyrie versus Roxanne, which they struggled to get their footing for probably the first half of the match. Just a lot of going for stuff and either not grabbing each other in the right way.
Yeah.
Doing something a little too late. Mm-hmm. It was every important move was like messed up a little.
Yeah.
A little bit. They hit the moves.
Yeah, it was just like,
none of it looked clean.
It didn't look great. Yeah.
They got it back together by the end, but everything else on Raw with the ongoing story throughout with Penta and Seth and Sammy and his group and all that was very good. Mm-hmm. And El Grande Americano, my GOAT, is back in ring. Brutus Creed, for some reason, thinks it's Chad Gable, who's El Grande. He's stupid. And that's why he was confused that El Grande was wrestling tonight, but El Grande is a completely different guy.
That's why Julius smacked him in the back of the head.
El Grande has a new mask. It now doesn't say American Made. It says El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
It's got a new pose instead of putting... I mean, it's like Randy used to be like this, and now Randy's like this. Randy used to be skinny, and now he's jacked. El Grande's a little taller, changed the pose, slightly different accent.
Slightly. Slightly. Here's my thing. He's already tall. Whoever's under the mask. I'm prescribing.
Why is it whoever's under the mask? Nobody talks about Penta and says whoever's under the Penta mask. It's just El Grande. Say his name. And he appears.
No, it's not Joe Hendry, and he's not Penta. Because here's the thing. El Grande Americano, before this little super skinny but jacked thank you guy came out, I couldn't have told you who was under the mask. And that's what I loved about it. This is not my El Grande. And I'm going to say this. Whoever this guy is, in trying to be El Grande, if you don't sound like him, don't talk.
Sin Cara Blue versus Sin Cara Black type vibes coming out your mouth.
I'm just saying. Because even on commentary, Michael Cole was like, well, that didn't sound like El Grande. Well, yeah, nah, dip. Like, just don't talk.
It's El Grande.
It's a man wearing an El Grande mask.
It's El Grande Americano.
It's...
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
I'm Christian.
Hey, Christian.
Hey, Michael, I'm Christian.
Yeah.
Did that sound like me? No. I'm the same guy. Come on now.
Oh. That was something else, Christian. That was truly something else. Yeah, I don't care how
Randy changed his pose.
Deep he makes
Randy
his
changed
voice.
his physique. Anybody could change their voice. It's the same guy.
Yeah. Not falling for this one. You could have put anybody else under there, and I would have not fallen for it. It's not my El Grande. That's all I'll say. He's not my El Grande.
He doesn't belong to you, so he's not yours.
You're right.
He's just El Grande Americano.
No one belongs to
for
me.
the
I'm
people
just
from the
saying.
Gulf of America.
Yeah. You know, Chad said he has tapes from him from like 1960.
Chad went through successful surgery.
Proud of Chad. Happy for Chad. Bring Chad Gable back. Put Chad Gable in the main event and let him be your world heavyweight champion. That's what I'd love to see coming out of injury.
They should bring him back bald with a gold medal and a broken neck.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. But yeah, other than El Grande, was there anything else we needed to cover?
I was very impressed by the Seth and... Oh, Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross. We want Karrion Kross, says the fans. Karrion Kross says, "Y'all got me."
Yeah.
That was during a commercial, but he attacks. He pipes Sammy again.
He attacks Sammy with a metal pipe.
He hits Sammy with his pipe again.
Yeah, and then
Sammy was like, "No, I'm still good to go," and then Braun Breaker destroys him. Karrion Kross will never leave Sami Zayn be.
I will say this much. I'm still not sold on Kross. It'd probably be a long time before I ever was sold on Kross.
The fans are sold.
The fans are sold.
You said you wanted to see how they react in person.
I did.
And you did.
I did. I saw
Kross.
their reaction. And the t-shirt sales have been crazy and everything else. The one thing I absolutely did not like out of all of it was the backstage when Sammy was talking to, I think, Jackie Redmond. And then he walks away. Scarlett just, do you have anything to say, Scarlett? She goes, no.
Which I think that's fine if you don't have Karrion Kross attack him in the next
immediately.
Segment. If you keep it slightly mysterious, like, why was she watching? But now,
even if, like, because they played into it later where Braun was backstage and was like, man, what are we going to do about Kross? He handed me the win, but now people are going to think I can't beat Sammy.
You've already beat Sammy for the Intercontinental title. What you
Forget
want,
that.
Braun?
Wrestlers have short-term memory. I'm saying in this...
Oh, I see you got a title match.
I'm just saying, more impactful maybe if like Braun's bouncing off the ropes and knocks the ref over, and then Kross comes out and hits him with the pipe mid-match. Fans go ballistic. Braun still gets the win.
I'm kind of happy they didn't do that because so many matches nowadays have stuff in between them. This one didn't need it. I liked having it before.
Yes.
But I don't know. Sammy, I mean, put your pipe away, Karrion.
Shout out Sammy overselling the ribs
went from
compared to last week.
Oh, I want to know what's wrong with my ribs. Yeah. Is what he says this week.
Yeah, literally did a double axe handle, I think a shoulder out the corner, and that was it. He went for another double axe handle, got speared out the air. That was it. Shout out Paul Heyman. Did not know he could speak Spanish.
Yeah.
That was cool.
The Oracle Paul
Heyman, yeah.
Representative of the Empire?
The Empire, question mark?
I would prefer if their team name was The Vision.
I like that.
Because they're Seth's vision.
Vision, yeah. He's the visionary. He picked all of them to be a part of his vision. That makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll ever actually give them a legit name, if they will be the Empire, because the Empire Strikes Back, as Paul says.
I just call them Seth and the Crew.
I call them Team Seth sometimes.
Yeah.
Or Seth and the Bronze.
The Bronze, B&B Security. It all works.
Yeah. I don't know, though. Match of the week, going Seth Rollins versus Penta.
Great match. Great match. Wrestler of the week.
El Grande Americano returns from injury, picks up a win. Well, not from injury, returns from whatever he was doing.
He was in
Money in the
Mexico
Bank.
wrestling.
Well, I mean, he might have gotten hurt during the Money in the Bank match. They never said anything.
Maybe.
Returns.
A star that big, and you don't announce that they're injured. I think he was off training or doing what he needed to do in Mexico, probably. But yeah, I already said mine. Match of the week was Andrade and Ray versus Fraxium, and Wrestler of the week, Andrade. Let's keep the freaking momentum going. I will pick.
Let's get a tally. Like at some point, within like a little later on, I want to see like how many times you've picked Andrade
to be my Wrestler of the week. If they keep the momentum rolling, it may be a year.
Every week.
Maybe every week. I'm not joking.
That's why I try to keep my picks different than yours.
No, it's not changing. I don't care if it seems biased.
Should we allow a tag team to be the wrestlers of the week?
If that's the case, I would put Ray and Andrade, Ray Phoenix and Andrade, but
I personally enjoy Ray in ring more. That's just because I think his moveset's a little more interesting.
Yeah.
But Andrade's also just 10 out of 10 on the rank.
But there's no doubt in my mind, watching that match, I guess because I'm on the Andrade train right now, he stuck out more to me.
Well, I've also...
But if you're just watching the match, say Fraxium had won, I'd be hard pressed to pick Nathan or Axiom.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with that. So if you want to put a tag team,
I've always been a Lucha Bros fan since AEW.
Yeah,
I watch AEW.
No, you've never seen wrestling before.
I know. I watched AEW when the Lucha Bros were there as the tag champs. I thought I started watching wrestling last week.
I did start last week.
Yeah.
And next week I will have just started this week.
How did you start last week if we've been doing this podcast for
I actually have someone feeding me my lines. Yeah. It's a 10-year-old feeding me my lines.
Oh, no, I just wrote your notes. That's why we keep the notes.
That's what this is for. I got to make sure Christian wrote everything out for me to say. I'm just here as a prop, realistically. I mean, I have no wrestling knowledge. Generated.
This isn't real.
Yeah, no wrestling knowledge whatsoever. But yeah, I threw the pen. I see... I will here and now say, if you pick a tag team as the wrestler of the week, I'm fine with it. That being said, I'm still picking on Ray Phoenix, but yeah, I'm fine with that as a answer. In the future, if you said, "Oh, this tag match," like Finn and JD after the Judgment Day match, I
can't give it to one of them over the other.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, I think that summed up Raw.
That summed up
SmackDown. Got all the predictions out.
All the WWE predictions.
Yeah.
AEW predictions in another video.
Yeah, AEW's going to be separate. But yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else to add? Comment? Wade Barrett?
Join us on the pod.
Yeah.
Corey Graves still commentating on Raw.
I'm here for it. I miss Pat, but I'm here for it. Would not be mad if they made it. They've not been mentioning team.
Pat, so I wonder if
he said. So I listen to the show every day. He said, I think last week that he and Nick Khan, who's the president of WWE, Nick Khan had told him take a break. I think because he's probably going to give you one more push, probably for the next month and a half, 2 months when he comes back right before college football. Because when college football starts,
I'd be fine if they bring Pat back for just pay-per-views until college football.
Yeah.
And then, we got a lot of pay-per-views, but...
Yeah.
But then once football's over, you can bring him back.
Yeah. I do miss Pat, but Corey Graves has been great.
The biggest issue with Pat McAfee on commentary is that he's not always able to be there.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. But I like what he adds to the program. A lot of people don't, but I enjoy it. So yeah, Raw, SmackDown, Evolution, Saturday Night Main Event, NXT Great American Bash, one SmackDown match with the Street Profits Wyatts, cleared, done, and I think I'll take us home. You ready? Cool. Thank you all for tuning into the Heel Tactics podcast. This is episode 5, and we've been, I think, getting the time cut down even more and more, getting closer and closer to an hour. We're trying to stay in that hour range. I know last week we had the weird audio video glitch on the podcast on YouTube that we had in the very first episode. We're changing software in terms of editing and exporting to YouTube, so it may seem a little bit more simplified as I get used to this new software, but the show hopefully will keep the same kind of graphic style and everything else, especially this being a predictions episode. Try to want to keep the same exact template that we used for the last one, because I really enjoyed the last predictions video.
Our most viewed.
It is our most viewed video.
Not most viewed video.
Most viewed podcast episode.
I started on the social media stuff.
Yeah.
I've gotten plenty of feedback on Instagram. Mostly negative, but not about not about how stuff looks or anything, just about my opinions, which is fine. Just try to have some respect, people.
Yeah. We would love to create a community with Heel Tactics Wrestling. That's one of our goals in doing all this. Would love for the comment section to be a nice, calm place where everyone can share their opinions.
Sometimes I might snap back a little harsh, but still.
Yeah, understandable.
I mean, ultimately, no, we did not start watching wrestling a week ago.
No. But I did.
Macho Man is like in his top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time.
All time.
Like, we have Macho Man right there.
Yeah, I mean,
and just so much stuff.
There is modern stuff for sure.
We have wrestling knowledge going all the way back to the Hogan stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we know what we're talking about. We are just going to have some modern opinions.
We're going to be swayed by modern wrestling because we were not
even just swayed, but we're not going to be like this. It sounds rude to anybody who like only has their Rushmore as old people.
Yeah.
But we are going to have modern picks because a Rushmore or something like that is meant to encapsulate
all time.
Abraham Lincoln's the 16th president. George Washington was the first. There's so many years in between that.
Yeah.
It's not like Mount Rushmore was the first 4 presidents.
Agreed. And yes, there's plenty of old, but like, okay.
Just because we don't include somebody like a Charlotte Flair or a Lita on our women's Rushmore doesn't mean that they're not deserving. But you can watch hundreds of Rushmore videos with the same picks. We just want to have some different ones.
Yeah. I mean, Ric Flair, to most people, is the greatest champion.
Ric Flair is so deserving of being on
Rushmore. He deserves to be on Rushmore, no doubt.
I wanted to put Kurt Angle on mine because Kurt Angle's deserving of it as well. There's 20 people deserving to be in a 4-person list.
Absolutely. There's tons of people deserving to be on it. Wrestling spans such a long time frame that even the people who are in the comment section saying they're Rushmore and how they're right, even you're not right. You can say you're Rushmore.
Start dissing me for only watching wrestling for a week.
I don't disagree with anyone's Rushmore unless it's greatest tag teams of all time and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso's on it, which I have seen before. I'm just saying that guy started watching a week ago, but like, okay, I put Roman on the Rushmore. Whoop-de-doo. I'm telling you, give it 10 to 15 years. We will look back at the Bloodline as one of the greatest things we ever saw in this age of wrestling. No different than Stone Cold was the greatest thing we saw in his age of wrestling. No different than Ric Flair, Bruno Sammartino, all the greats. Hogan encapsulated the world. Andre, there will never be another like him. I can't include them all. I have my preferences. I have my opinions. I'm going to say them. You can have your opinions. It just respect. That's all we're asking for in the comment section. A little bit more respect. That's it.
A little bit more respect for Becky Lynch.
Oh, please respect Becky. No, I get it. People don't like Becky. People don't like Charlotte.
Becky Hogan.
Charlotte literally got booed out of the arena when she was trying to give a heartfelt... But now that
Becky's the more important one,
you
like Charlotte, you don't like Becky.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. This is getting long-winded. Thank you for tuning in. You can catch us, YouTube, Spotify. I don't remember the other 2 podcasts. iHeartRadio, and I think Amazon Podcast.
Apple Podcast doesn't like us.
Yeah, Apple does not like us. They have this really weird login thing. I can't get it set up yet. I've been trying for over a month now. But yeah, 11:30 a.m. Thursdays, episodes will drop. This episode will drop 11:30 this day.
I'm trying to get social media stuff out pretty much every day.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent on the daily stuff. It may not be like at 2 o'clock, look for our TikTok.
Oh, no, it's whenever I either get up or have time.
But yeah, just please stay with us on this journey. We've gotten a slow building. We're getting a lot more eyes on the product, which we appreciate anyone who looks, anyone who watches, anyone who stays till this far into it, because we definitely got off the tracks there at the very end. Yeah, we're just going to keep chugging on down the train tracks.
And ultimately, if nothing comes from it, nothing comes from it. We're doing this because we want to.
Yeah, we're doing this, like I said.
To the person who said fail list because you have no viewers on a video that I posted 2 seconds before he posted the comment about it having no views.
We are here to discuss wrestling for y'all to hear our thoughts and opinions. Again, it's our thoughts, our opinions. I'm not speaking for anyone who's watching right now. They have their own thoughts and opinions. Christian has different thoughts and opinions than I do.
I want to have conversations in the comment sections, but if you come at me with disrespect, be prepared to be disrespected.
It is called heel tactics wrestling. I mean, yeah, but
and it's not like we're making picks on any videos to annoy people.
No. Well, I might be here in the future,
but that
just
would be
to be a heel, but
yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not putting John Cena on my Mount Rushmore to try to make somebody mad.
No. But Cena's deserving. Yet again, there's 20, 50 people. We
can't have it.
Yeah. I'm not doing it again.
The outro's been longer than the
outro's forever long. Thank you, and have a great day, great evening. Tell your friends, tell your family, watch the Heel Tactics podcast. Look for our clips on social media. Shorter videos should be coming out soon-ish. We're trying to get through this weekend with Evolution and then figure out where we're going from there. But yeah, we hope y'all have a good time hanging out with us, and we'll see you back next week. Thank you.